question number 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. So this question wants us to solve the linear system graphically. Okay. So when you're solving a linear system, you need to make sure that both your equations are in the form y equal mx plus b. All right. Where we know that y represents the total, but in this case, we're not focused on the total, but we're focused on the fact that m represents your slope and b is your y-intercept. Okay, so when you're graphing this, we see that one of our equation is already good. Okay, so that first equation is already in the form y equal mx plus b. So this is already good. The second equation is not in that form. This is in standard form. Okay, so I would need to convert this into the form y equal mx plus b. But the first equation, I'm going to go ahead and plot it. Okay, so when you're plotting, guys, okay, you always graph your y-intercept first. So again, you always graph the y-intercept when? First. So that means you're going to go to your y-axis. This is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. And then we're going to go to -2 on the y. So -2 on the y would be right here. Okay? Now I'm going to apply my slope, because the slope tells you direction. Okay? In this case, I see that the slope is the 2, or I can write that 2 as 2 over what number? 1. Okay? So the number on the top tells us our rise. Rise tells me if I'm going up or down. The number on the bottom tells me my run. And the run tells me if I'm going left or right. Almost 99.9% of the time, you're going to the right. Okay? So a +2 means you're going up 2 times. A 1 will mean we're going to the right, because almost 99% of the time, we're going to the right. So I'm going to go to my starting point, and I'm going to go up 2 times, then to the right once, and then I'll put my point right there. Now you would use your ruler. I don't have my ruler, so I'm going to use a straight edge, and I'm going to draw my line. Okay? Now I'm going to graph my next line. However, I can't graph it unless it's in the form y equal mx plus b. So what we're going to do is that we're going to rewrite our equation, and I'm going to try to get it into the form I need it to be in. Okay? So to do that, I will need to move the x to the other side. So to move our adding 2x, we subtract 2x on both sides of our equations. That gets canceled. Our 3y, we bring it down. And can we subtract 2x from 18? No, because they're not like terms. But I'm going to rewrite the -2x. And then this is what type of 18? A +18. Now I will get rid of this multiplying by 3 by dividing by 3 so that I can isolate my y. Okay? So now I have y is equal to a negative divided by a positive is a negative. But can you divide 2 by 3? No. So I leave it as -2 over 3x. Normally, when you do parallel and perpendicular, you replace this letter with b. But in this case, I want to know what the number is. So +18 divided by a +3 gives me a +6. Okay? So now it's in the form y equal mx plus b. So now I'm going to graph it. So you always graph your y-intercept first. And my y-intercept is a +6. So I'm going to go to +6 on my y-axis. Looks approximately right here. Now I'm going to apply my slope. So the negative sign only applies to the numerator. So if I have a -2 over 3, the number at the top tells me up or down. So what do you think a -2 would mean? Yup, down 2 times. Okay? And 99% of the time, we're going to the right. Only make the number at the top, the numerator, negative. So again, I would go down 2 times and then right 3 times. Okay? And I could continue to do that over and over. Down 2 times, right 3 times, down 2 times, right 3 times, so that I can formulate my perfect straight line. Okay, so again guys, just like that. Okay, so now we need to identify the solution, and the solution I normally say X marks the spot. That's what I normally say. X marks the spot. Okay, so essentially wherever they cross, all right, wherever they intersect, wherever you see that middle point in between them is your solution. So this looks like positive 3 for the X and positive 4 for the Y. So my solution is parentheses, so you have to put a parentheses 3, 4. All right, so again, just like that. So let's try the next question. But this one, I'm going to go through it a little faster. So again, one of our equations is already in the form y equal mx plus b. Which one is already good? This one, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and plot it. We always plot what first? The y-intercept, all right? So we always plot the y-intercept first. Do it like me, you'll always get it correct, okay? So we're going to go to the y-axis, which is this one, okay? And we're going to go to positive 5, okay? Which is right here. Now I'm going to ask myself, what does my slope mean to me? Because slope tells you direction. So the negative only applies to the numerator. So we have a negative 1 over 3 as my slope, okay? The negative 1 tells me rise or rise, whether up or down. Because it's negative, you're going down once, right 3 times. Down once, right 3 times. Down once, right 3 times, and it will go on and on and on forever. Okay, so we draw our line, bam. Okay, now we need to graph this line. However, is it in y equal mx plus b? No, so I need to convert it into that form. So we're gonna rewrite our equation. Okay, we're gonna move our x to the other side by subtracting 3x on both sides of our equations. This gets canceled, and the negative 2y, I would bring it down. I cannot subtract these because they're not like terms, so I'd have a negative 3x and a positive 12. Now I would get rid of the multiply by dividing each of these by negative 2. I'm going to write what I would get right over here. So I would now have y is equal to a negative divided by a negative is a positive. But can you divide 3 by 2? No. So I'm going to leave it as a positive 3 over 2x. And positive 12 divided by a negative 2. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 12 divided by 2, 6. Okay? Now I'm going to graph this line. So you always graph your y-intercept when? First. Okay? So we're going to go to positive 6, or rather negative 6 on my y-axis. That looks like it's right here. Now I'm going to apply my slope. So my slope is 3 over 2. The number at the top tells you rise, so up or down. Because it's positive, you're going to go up 3 times and then right 2 times. All right? So up 3 times, right 2 times. Up 3 times, right 2 times. Up 3 times, right 2 times. All right? And we can already see what that intersection point is going to be. So after I draw my line, I look for what? X marks the spot, okay? So it seems like they intersected at when X was 6 and when Y was 3. So the answer or the solution would be 6, 3. So again, guys, just like that.